Hey guys, Polack here. Welcome to this week's episode. A couple months ago I talked about doing some archery upgrades to our setup here, so this is our first product spotlight here. Spot Hogg Fast Eddy XL. So I went with the double pin in .019 for the pin size. This is a sight that I've wanted for a really long time, well over a year now. I've been wanting to get into doing some longer range shooting, and I absolutely love the dial system here. I was kind of flirting between this and the Hogg Father, but the Hogg Father is about $130 more, and I really don't need that much micro adjustability. Lifetime warranty, made in the US. We're going to get this bad boy mounted and then do a little first impressions things. This is the first product spotlight we've done here on Michigan Great Outdoors. So we'll do a little unboxing here and we'll get it mounted on the bow. Let's get stuck in. So this is what we're working with when we open the package. We got our mount, our dovetail, our adjustment wheel here, our adjustment knob. It comes with screws to mount. It comes with two different sight rings, small and a very large aggressive sight ring. So here's the old TruGlow sight, and you can see that there's a ring on there, but it would hardly ever glow. I mean, it does have this light that you can use. Which was helpful. I used it a couple times. The first impressions of this sight, it just feels rock solid. I love the black. I like the little purple pointers here. So we got dual pointers. So your top pin is here and your bottom pin is here. You have your knob here to tighten up your wheel. So when you want to adjust it, you just turn it. It spins very smoothly. Very smooth. And then you can just lock it down when you get set. So we're going to take the old TruGlow off here and mount our Fast Eddy XL. So we can see the size difference between these two sights. There's also adjustability here, so we can change how far out the sight is. Obviously, the farther out, the better accurate you could be. Pinpoint accuracy, if you can keep that pin from moving around. Well, there she goes, mounted on the bow. That was quick. So it's all mounted on the bow, super simple. Literally 2 screws, slide the dovetail on. My first thoughts while holding it is it's quite a bit heavier. We'll see what that means when we start to shoot. It might actually balance the bow out more. I got that big bee stinger on the front, as you can see, which really helped with my longer 50-yard shots last year. I'm hoping that that's going to help balance this bow out with this new sight on there. The bow's looking pretty mean now. I'm excited to have this sight on here. So really what I want to do is go to about 10 yards and shoot it and just kind of get a feel for where it is hitting. Very easy to adjust elevation with a simple turn of this dial. So once you get it sighted in, you'll have your sight tape right here, and you'll have your top pin and your bottom pin. So the sight tapes, it comes with calibration scale. Alright, so the setup on this sight is very simple. It says right here, you sight in at 20 yards. You want to make sure you're dead nuts at 20 yards. So perfect elevation wise, 100% confident that you're hitting perfect at 20 yards. It's very important that you get the first step to this right. If you're not good at 20 yards, I suggest that you spend more time practicing and get dialed in at 20 before you install this calibration scale. So you take the scale out and you cut it out. It's got a sticker on the back, and then you mount that here on your bowl knob with that 20 pointed perfectly at the 20-yard mark right here. So if you take this tape off, you mount it on there, you want your 20 pointed perfectly at 20. If it's not, you can take this Allen here and you can adjust and you can move the pointer to the scale. Alright, you got to be careful when you do that, is that you don't turn this bowl knob at all. So after you get your sight tape set on, the instructions say that you need to walk it out to 60. So I suggest, we all shoot expensive arrows, that you You turn your knob, and then you walk it out to 30, walk it out to 40, walk it out to 50, and then walk it out to 60. When you get to 60, you can start adjusting very carefully, and you want to make sure your arrows are hitting perfectly zeroed at 60 yards. So when doing that, I'll zoom in so you can see. So when you get sighted in, you're at 20, and then you go to 60. It'll tell you what sight tape number you need. So all these numbers here correlate to the different sight tapes. So over here we got our sight tapes, and they have different numbers, and it'll tell you which one you need to use. So some genius at Spot Hogg has already done the mathematics for us. They've already figured out, I don't know what they use, an algorithm, obviously draw weight, your poundage of your bow you're pulling back, the weight of your arrow, the speed is factored in there. So somehow, using their calibration scale, and you sight in at 20 based off of where you land for 60, it's supposed to be spot on. So it is a Spot Hogg, so I'm hoping it's spot on, but we'll find out. I'm going to wait till the weather gets a little nicer outside before I do this process. So really what I've been doing now is I got it mounted on my bow, and I'm just shooting in the barn. I got 10-yard shots. I'm just practicing, getting used to the sight. But as soon as this weather breaks, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get it dialed in at 20, and I'm going to get dialed in at 60, and then I'm going to get my tape on there so I can start shooting bombs. You have to kind of use your brain when you use this sight a little bit. So you have to decide, based off of where you're hunting, how you want to have your dial set up. I will more than likely have my dial set up at 30 yards because that's what I'm comfortable at. And then the second pin will be somewhere around 45 to 43 yards. Obviously, this dial will go to 100. I don't think anybody's going to try to take a whitetail deer at 100 yards. One of the main reasons why I wanted the sight that would go to 100 is because I wanted to play around. Archery's fun. It's fun to shoot some bombs, as they call them, long-range archery. So I wanted to get a sight that I could play around with in the off-season, spend more time shooting, and also work on long-range shots. A lot of the top archers in the world, there's a big theory that says if you practice at 100, 50 becomes a chip shot. If you can get good at shooting 100 yards and you're shooting in a 10-inch circle at 100, when you're shooting at 50, it's going to be a lot easier. So that's something that I'm going to really practice on this year, and I'm very excited. This sight looks very durable. I mean, it's solid construction. It's made in the U.S. It has a lifetime warranty. So right there in the package, lifetime warranty. I'm very excited about. It comes with the 2 different sight rings. This one didn't work for me because I would have to change my peep sight. So when I was looking through my peep, there was actually, I could see around it. So there was open space when I was looking through my peep, which I didn't like. With this ring on, I ended up putting this ring on, and that totally went away. So I was very happy with that. So I noticed on my TruGlo that I had that light, and I was like, man, I wonder if it'll fit into the Spot Hogg sight housing, and it screwed right in, and it's pretty sweet. Originally I had the smaller ring on there, and I didn't like it because my peep was seeing around the sight, and I didn't think that would be good, and I didn't want to have to change my peep sight out. So I slapped on this bigger ring, and it eliminated that problem, and it looked like it gathered more light. So on Spot Hogg's YouTube page, they have an amazing description of what this is, multi-ring technology, how it works, the science behind it, how your eye gathers light different times of the day. I'll link that in my description because their video is way better than any video that I'm going to make. So check that out for sure. Alright, so we're in the barn. I got 10-yard shot here. The weather sucks in Michigan. I had me a little snack and a hat change. And one thing I wanted to note, there is second and third axis adjustment here for the bubble to get it level. I didn't do that yet. I was really excited to get some shots in. So I'll definitely do that before we start the whole calibration process. But we're mounted, and here's the first shot. Like I said, we're only 10 yards. little low. I think it's touching black though. It's actually not a bad shot for the first one. Darn near the same spot. I shoot at different spots at the target now because I've had 2 Robin Hoods in the last year, and you know, that's cool and all, but I look at that as you know, $26 down the toilet. So I like to shoot at different spots. But here goes the last shot, number 3. Shoot at that one on the right. Ooh, that was a good one too. They look pretty darn the same. So let's go take a look at them. I'm really glad I purchased this bow sight. First impressions wise, I'm really happy with how it's shooting, how it feels on the bow. It feels real balanced. You know, it's much heavier than my True Glow, but it definitely feels like it balances the bow out more. We'll have to see. As soon as this weather breaks out here in Michigan, I'm going to get outside, get it dialed in, get it calibrated, get the sight tape on it, and really put it through its paces. But you know, if you're in the market for a new bow sight and you're looking for adjustability to be able to dial, you know, to different ranges, I highly suggest the Spot Hogg Fast Steady XL. First 3 shots, I'm touching black without doing any adjustments, so I'm really happy about that. And you know, thanks for watching this video. It's the first review that we did on a product, so it might not be the best, but hopefully we'll get better at it, and we will continue to review products that I believe in, that I purchased with my own money. You know, as I always say, get outside and do something. In this case, I'm inside trying to do something because the weather sucks, but we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. I tell you what, you come down to Michigan, you get you a bow and arrow, I'll take you out hunting.